A lesser opponent because Vivo Kid have looked very good, but an opponent that isn't the second place team of the last Masters event.
Exactly, right? Both of these teams have had a tough time opening it up, and now they'll face off against each other. We are here on Icebox to really dish out the damage. X10 on this defensive side being challenged towards B in the early round. A lot of utility coming their way. Vivo Kid definitely want to take it there. They're full committing, man. Look at that full defensive setup with the Killjoy utility covering the back. And then they're going to rush in here. The problem is, rotates have come in. This is the heavily defended side due to that early aggression that was spotted by X10.
Already. Cross will come through from Heat, the man known for trying to take that extra little bit of space. And we will now see the almost counter, that retake wall being put into position from the defenders, just to try and make things that little bit more awkward, at least for the moment. The fact is, though, there isn't actually anybody looking on the flank. They are just consistently waiting for them to try and push into this side.
That was a good reveal as well. It showed that there's two players there, meaning X10 are confident to still maintain this heavier stack onto the B side. 3 players looking to fight, and honestly, you're going to probably be content enough to spam through walls and look for a retake if you can find a kill or two on this crossover. He dishes a good bit of damage out. He takes some of his own along the way. Looks like the spike will be planted though, and Vivo gets a play. Oh, they almost lost 2 players, but they'll end up getting out of here in a 5v5.
Yeah, Joe takes a nasty tag, but there's been a response on the other side. Both teams in somewhat an even scenario. The problem is, one of them has the spike down, and Muriz, we know how good he's been in these pistol rounds, already managing to pop the head of the first player. A little bit of damage coming back onto Joe, but they need to get a move on. They need to try and do some damage, and Sushi Boy just comes up big. It's left on to just one player, MW0, the clutch king, but he can't.
This round, although he does still have that Marshall, and he has been one of the more impressive Jet players when it comes to using those scoped weapons in this tournament.
Well, that is the funny thing. Like, they were talking about his headshot percentage, and I was sat there thinking, that's a lot of Marshall kills, isn't it?
It is. It really
that's
is.
where that has to come from, because you think about this man, you do think more so about that operator play than anything else. So the fact that he's still getting headshots is actually just a little bit silly. But hey, we'll see if they can do anything with it in this round. Heat already tagged down, of course, his counterpart, normally in the form of Paddy Pan, but maybe a slightly different beast from Sushi Boys. Not someone that at least we think of with this team when it comes to that Jet play. Obviously, I know Paperthin said that he did sort of fill in that role when Paddy Pan was away, but they've now moved over into this double duelist, and I'm excited to see the dynamic of it, because it does seem that he's the one picking up that scope weapon, at least for now, and Paddy Pan maybe just going to be a little bit more disruptive.
Muri's is being deleted there on the mid push. He was trying to sneak over towards Chube, but Scary spotted him and took him down quite quickly. We already saw Heat with a little tag going in on that Marshall, and then he'll finish him off as well. That's a very valuable kill in a round like this. 1 or 2 more, and this could be a spectacular round, even if they don't walk out with the win. But sadly, it's a little bit too easy to mow them down with these SMGs. Good kill by Heat still. If he can just get one
come through, makes me think the X10 are more than prepared for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if that preparation is going to pay off as they move on forward. A rifle for Foxy Zed, the boy. I mean, he can do a bit of damage with that. They've got quite a bit of extra cash as well, so it makes sense to go for it now and try to at least win some of these duels. But it's actually the Marshall that opens things up with damage onto Heat. Low HP on Joe as well. You got to be real careful right now if you're Vivo Kid.
Yeah, in fact, they're not wanting to overextend at all, just falling back. There is a little bit of alert coming through from Muriz. Now, he was someone who, again, like before this tournament, we didn't really see him play the likes of a Killjoy or anything even close to it. So the fact that he's now switched up a little bit, maybe the entry of MW0 has changed that, but he's actually picked up the Sova. So it seems like this is just a conscious decision by the team. Now, the rest of them have just gone barreling into the B side. And unfortunately, well, there is only one defender.
Yeah, Muri's also might get a really valuable kill now over towards the Tube. You can see Fox is a little bit scared of that. And now they're looking to take him down on the other side after spotting him. That's Crows taking the frag. This is now looking very bad for Vivo Kid. Remember, Joe lost all of his shields in that early fight, almost went down. He's healed himself up, but he won't be getting away with anything here. Caught off by the flank. Heat, on quite low HP, will try to put up a fight, and they're doing a damn good job of it. 2 versus 3, down to just Vixen on the back of Yellow. He's being spotted. He's being overwhelmed. And X10.
Vivo Kid might have had a bit of a nasty shock.
Yeah, absolutely. I like what you brought up earlier on as well. The fact that, X10, they've had a lot of good stuff, and you were telling me after that day as well that you were impressed by them.
Yeah, their ascent was sick. Like, gimmicks, but it was good.
Sure, right. But I mean, still, pulling that sort of stuff out's always impressive. It's good to see that being worked on. This is nice. Sushi Boy's really playing the distraction, even put down a Cloudburst, and while they take him down, they don't know the Crows is up close, but they'll still deal with him and equalize things into a 3v3. They gotta up the pace if they want this B side. And again, Muri's is taking this super late flank through mid.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting for him here. They've left the spike on the ground. We'll go back to retrieve it, but they're just hoping that he can maybe cut off some of the rotations. Now, bear in mind, they've managed to retrieve an operator here, and there's the timing kill. That's everything for them. That will open up this site completely. Scary now has to try and make a play, which he will. Takes down Killjoy and looks to push that a little bit further forward. There is now that flank coming in from Padipan. A rifle in hand, and this duel could end up being everything. Of course, if he managed to find it, can easily just dismiss out of position, and timing's not going to be good. MW0 caught jumping up onto the box. It's left onto Heat. I don't think there's anyone else you'd want in this scenario for Vivo. He unscopes, though!
For the most, how do your opponents prepare if you're the favorites and treat you with respect, and then you treat them? It's not even that. It's about the viewers, the fans at home. They have their eyes on you. They are looking at you to do the damage, and all of a sudden, you go from, hey, I'm just fragging out, having a good game, to I'm supposed to be fragging out. I'm supposed to be having a good game, and it really gets inside your head. These guys are already down mid. Now, that utility is going to be caught. Remember, last time they got the flank, Muri's was dead on that mid play. Now they still have that Killjoy utility to at least give them the info.
Yeah, they're also going to use the lockdown. Now, this will force a few players out of position. I say that. Oh, is he going to get it? He is! He times the dismiss perfectly with the lockdown. That was beautiful from Padipan, but it's very quickly traded out with Heat. I was wondering how on earth he was going to get out of there, but he had a plan all along. This battle again is going to be so important, and Muri's turns his back. Cruz has found an easy frag and put the man advantage back in the favor of this X10 side. Fox is already, he just walks through. There's nobody watching. They don't even spot him as he just kills their star player and leaves two standing. In fact, they're now going to bring Paddy back from the dead. Now, there is some after-plant utility, but they'll already get it halfway before anything else can be done, hoping to try and finish him off. But realistically, the Sons of Fury isn't going to get anything more. They can just get back on the defusal. They're going to need to go for these kills, and there's nothing that can be done at this point.
That much, but that means they don't have their alarm bot anymore. So now when you're lining up that Viper utility, you're trying to do it quickly because a guy can swing around the corner at any moment to take you down. So it's definitely not an ideal scenario. And with 5-0 on the board, this is where Vivo Key need to step it up, need to get those results. And Sushi Boy already looking to make sure that's not a possibility. He's in a great position with that turret. Okay, I wasn't even looking at Crows pushing up on B. That's insane.
Yeah, this is almost just looking disrespectful at this point from X10. They push through the poison orb, they push deep, they put down what looked like a fake wall to actually walk past it, and they're fighting so aggressively! They don't expect him to be here! He can kill off all the players, including the res! Foxes to just slam them into the ground, leaving just 2 players remaining. But one of them is MW0. He's already brought this one back. The spray is risky because there could be another player to peek, and Paddy has done just that. Caught him on the corner.
Attack pause, they've got themselves structured up, they come into a buy round, they're like, all right, here's our moment, guys, and they barely get out of spawn.
Oh,
no. Like, they're so aggressive. You are not safe. No matter where you are on this map, the defenders can be up in your face, but so can the attackers. Already pulling it into a 4 versus 3, and Muri is gonna get away with that. All right, okay.
Okay, there was actually a couple. I think Vixen ends up getting that kill.
Yep.
That wasn't even Muri's who takes the fight. This round definitely wasn't the one we were expecting Vivo Key to take, but they've got themselves in a very good position. I think he's already spotted Cruz looking to wrap around. He's actually going to go over the top. This could be a free kill, especially because he can just float his way down behind him. Almost gets a little bit of
them overall. We'll see if X10 can regain control.
It seems like Sushi Boys is not changing up his mentality whatsoever. Now he's got to be very careful because there is a drone coming around the corner in just a second, and while the trades this time go firmly in... Well, they did for a second. They did go firmly in favor of the attackers, but it didn't last long. Paddy's going to be spotted, though. It's all in every single round from X10. Just battling, brawling on all sides of the map, and this time it seems like Vivo Key have found a response. Cruz, 1 versus 3. Doesn't look too likely.
No, he's not in the best position at all, and those taps are really not landing for him. My God. shock darts coming his way and everything. This round is mostly just going to be a ride-off from this point forward, but they got plenty of cash after those rounds. Maybe he's feeling a little bit confident, wants to get in the highlight reel, but he won't. With MW Zera.
Are they going to do the thing where you wall underneath and you can jump up, or are they just going to run? Because we've seen that quite a few times where teams just use the wall to get themselves up and then go for the kills. Instead, no, they're just having a layered defense on A, maybe expecting the Vivo Kid are going to lean into this site, as a lot of teams will do. They've left Scary alone on B. I'm intrigued.
Vivo Kid are doing exactly what I wanted to see from them, just holding that default. They're thinking, all right, X10 are definitely trying something different after that pause. You know this team. You know the situation they're in. You just got to wait and see what it is. And with that recon, they know there's a player pushed up on A. They'll suspect that there's some control being taken there. But I don't know if you'll quite expect there to be this many players around. Now, they have given up full control of mid. At the moment, you pretty much just have Scary as a sitting duck. They can come behind him in through tube. He's not really in the best of spots.
No, and he's basically just put all of his utility down to allow him to escape. Now they're going to spot MW Zera, and they're actually just going to look to try and push him down, hunting him. 3 players pushing in on that flank, and Paddy's going to find the kill. Now with a weaker weapon, this gives them a chance at an upgrade, and now they can just look to play the retake. It was never really just an attempt to get aggressive. It was an attempt to pick someone off, and now go for a retake play.
Yeah, Scary's even managed to pick up Joe, and that might well have been through a smoke. With the Sage down, she did manage to get her wall into play at the start. Those shots came damn close, and in the end, Muri's will be finished off. This is an incredible round from Scary, a man solo holding the beat.
He get the plant down and get into an after plant in the first place, so he just made it so desperately awkward for them. 7 rounds already for X10 on this defensive side, and you guessed it, they're still pushing.
Of course they are, yeah. Muri's is ready for it this time, though. He'll catch the first, expects more to be coming around. Unfortunately, it's Sushi with the off to catch him off, a res to come in right afterwards. And I gotta say, last round, Vivo Kid, I had very little criticism of them. I think they got very unlucky with some of those shots hit by Scary through a smoke, blind firing. This time around, they're gonna go for that same B take, but change it up a little bit when it comes to plant spots. Maybe not. Looked like they were for a second.
Yeah, they've still taken a long time to actually get this plant down. So they're not having any actual response in terms of getting into their after plant. So again, they had this disadvantage. Nice shot from Sushi Boys. And there's only 2 remaining. This has to be a clutch of astronomical expenses, and honestly, it's just not happening. Heat, 1 versus 3. They've already got the wall to hold him out. They're just sticking this diffuser. He needs to get in there now, and it just isn't enough time for him to do anything here. They're going to hold it.
He still maintains his composure, holds those angles. He's going to be someone you're content to leave solo holding it. But this round, X10 don't solo hold B. They're going to double stack up here, maybe expecting early round aggression from Vivo Kid because they've got so much control there round on round, being able to walk onto the side essentially and plant. And what that means is there's no aggression coming through on A for what feels like the first time this game.
The drone is at least going to spot a couple of players, but I don't think the plan is about to change. You've heard Paddy pop the Empress, so a real chance for him to just take battles and opt to escape. They've got to be careful. His reaction's just about quick enough. Foxy is a madman. Almost gets caught on the rope. He's going to swing instead, but it's only going to be a trade. Still, though, there's a couple of members remaining. Heat will just dash out a spot, but in the meantime, Paddy has caught another. Mura is being rezzed up. At least gives a man advantage back, but this is a fallback. They do have to be careful, though, because Jet is already on the other side of the map.
Yeah, actually, Sushi Boys moving around to now cover their cross back over, so Vivo Kid are going to find it hard to get to B or to sell the fake information that they want. They want X10 to think that they're rotating around, that they'll leave the A site and start to retake B, but instead, they're sitting here as they hear the turret. They know that there's at least 1 player still by, and with that turret going down, you know it's going to be an A hit, most likely. Paddy good for the first. He falls back, moves around the side. The Lear in play. He's repositioning yet again, but caught off by a great angle from Heat.
Still, Sushi Boys. Oh, he's actually going to pick him off. A first one goes his way. Now, he is tagged at least a half HP, and he doesn't know that the other 2 players are remaining within the site. He's shot.
It won't be that big of a deal if that's the case, because although it's the same setup in a way, okay, I really thought that Viper's Pit just didn't activate and it was gone. I was like, is that some new glitch I've never seen? But no, sadly, so that what he was trying to do there, put the Viper's Pit on top so that they can't take the rope. He wasn't able to, has to put it down below instead and use his orb to cover. I don't know how Muri's just died.
He has an Ares and a pistol, and he just goes out with the sheriff. What has just happened from Sushi Boys? That is That's one of the most... I think we call that the scream dash. Didn't he do that before?
Yassine was constantly doing it, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. It was Yassine.
He couldn't stop, man. Especially it was this map as well. B-side, he just kept dashing forward every time he shot.
They've got to be careful. Foxy is still here.
Oh, no.
They haven't actually checked for it. That's a free kill, at least onto the first. And even just staying alive, it would be so valuable for him. Absolutely destroyed. So,
brutalizing your own. I mean, that's something else. I didn't expect it either, I'll be honest, but look, X10, they've been doing SEA proud, unlike our analyst over there.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Paper Thin. I mean, look, you betrayed them, brother. We're at 8-4 coming into this half. A very important round for Vivo Key. They really want to come out on top in this one, give themselves that leg up to buy their way back into the series. Or back into the map, at least. Oh, they're going to be caught on the way back. And there's the tag from Heat. He takes down Scary. That means no Viper utility for what could have been a BXX.
Yeah, never turn your back on Heat. I'm telling you that now. He will put you in the grave.
Don't turn your front on him either. Just don't look at him.
Don't look.
Stay away.
Yeah, don't look at him. Don't not look at him. Just try and keep out of his general vicinity.
Yeah,
it's a good plan for the majority of rounds. In fact, we saw that in the first half, even when he was able to sort of drag them through the last couple. They have managed to get quite a lot of space on towards this B side, but it looks like for Vivo Key, this is by design. They're trying to hold them into spots where they don't really have anything to fight from. Almost a nasty surprise, but it's only going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Putting this into a 4 versus 3 scenario. Mura's going to try and take some extra space. I don't know if they'll expect Sushi Boys to just be sat below them. In fact, the remaining attackers have just gone on the longest lurk play ever. They're all wrapping back around. They're starting to shoot the turret. You just realized there's no one on there. Okay, I can just scurry away. Now, this is not planted for them, so they have to get back into space. And in fact, the defusal has already begun. They've managed to get it halfway, but again...
completely. Instead, they push one all the way up mid through the spawn, one late flanking through mid, and then have a player sat on site. And it was so important for Sushi Boy to stay alive, which is why he avoided the fight and just ran that clock down. Honestly, every decision that X10 made from the time that they lost Scary, which is one of the biggest blows that you can deal in the early round of a pistol, was just perfect. And Heat's just opened it up.
What did I say about not going near Heat?
Yeah, I don't know how we're not getting the message.
To me? Already, though, they've brought this one back quite quickly. Of course, it is a reduced purchase. Nice shots from MW0, though. This is getting a little bit costly already. Oh, it's awkward, but... Yeah, this is where I almost want to see a dominant display from Vivo Key. If I'm going to feel any confidence in them bringing this map back, it has to be. Now, the weaponry, it's actually not bad from X10. They've got a couple of rifles in there, one of them being a Bulldog and Vixen. It's a risky battle to attempt, and I think he's got caught a little bit on the wall as he went through. Okay, Sushi Boy's trying to go out of over the top, and he'll lose his head for it.
Something we talked about at the start of this, 4 or 5 rounds in, was how confident X10 looked, and that duel from Sushi Boy just underlines it even more so. The late flank we just saw on our screens from Scary, they're trying to buy as much time as possible, and the slow combined with the shock dart leaves Patty very, very low indeed, but Scary is making his way up, and now the flank is completed. He's found the first. He'll come in for 3.
Same team. It might be the same names on the sheet, but the fact that they've been, one of their players has literally been having a break for half of it. Yeah. They've been playing random tournaments and just messing about, and then they come in and play like this. I'm almost a little bit mad at them that we didn't see them for so long, but hey, if you perform like this when you come back, I'm fine.
That's the thing, and it's not about the scoreline, it's not about the individual skill. Mechanics are something that there are a bunch of tier 2, tier 3 teams that have got some god tier mechanics. The reality is what makes you different is being able to play clinical and clean Valorant, have those great mid-round calls and adaptations, and from what we're seeing of X10, it's world-class what they're bringing to the table. Scary has gone down again, though, in that early round, as Joe was at least able to find it, but Padawan is not looking to let them have that advantage for all too long.
Yeah, they've just put him in as like a solo A take at the moment. Like, most of the time you call that a lurk, but I'm not calling it a lurk because he's actually just trying to fight them.
Yeah.
Like, he's not waiting to sneak in behind. He's not looking to catch them off guard. He's just going, I'm here and I'm looking to try and fight you. And they've just baited the res, completely killing off one. But this man with a Blade Storm, we talked about his headshot percentage. He definitely got one of them. Unfortunately, received another in return. No real problems, at least in this round. And actually, I'm surprised they even invest the Viper's bit into this one, wanting to make sure they could secure their 12th, but to be honest, it looked like they had it already.
Yeah, it definitely did. At this stage, I guess it is just confirming the round. They've Not got any ultimates coming online later, so it's aggressive, let's say. But they want to make sure there's no chance for Vivo Key to get that insane comeback, the big clutch, and fire themselves up. They want to make sure they feel shut out, and I think they're doing a damn good job of it so far. Muri's doesn't stand a chance.
They're just not very good at like working out what's currently happening on the other side. So nice shot from Sushi Boys again. Now they're going to get the res almost instantly. He's hunting for this. The headshot actually not connected, so he will be allowed to escape at least for the moment. And again, he's the one factor that really has still been popped in. You're so aggressive.
Well, I mean, you call that so aggressive. We did just watch the whole half from X10, but it hasn't worked out for him any of these times. And exactly, that's the thing, right? And with Patty taking that kill, he's healed back up. He's ready to fight. Heat is holding the cross. Good opening shot, and he'll even get away. Well, maybe not with the second. Vixen does help. But it is, at the end of the day, the advantage well and truly in their favor, leaving Patapan to try and recover the 1v4. He's hearing a lot of steps around him, but I don't think he's long for this world. He'll at least get the first, but the spike can now be defused. And on point, they're reading the info of what Vivo Key are doing. On top of that, you know, that's the tactical aspect Vivo Key need to improve on, but then it comes to the duels. And Heat's been on fire. He has just missed the opening shot here. And other than him, we haven't really had a hero to step up, but this time around, Joe's going to pick up a double. That mid flank completely destroyed.
Yeah, they managed to catch off at least a couple of the players. They've got to be careful here. He went up above at least for a second, but they haven't cleared this properly. They've given that extra space to Heat to just shine, and he's just looking to survive, but he gets taken down. And Sushi Boys actually pops the Blade Storm. He believes he can clutch.
To watch those sort of micro plays.
Oh, there is still a purchase. It hasn't reduced the economy of X10 to ashes just yet. In fact, they've still got themselves a Hunter's Fury. Now, there is a lockdown on the other side, but obviously they kind of counter each other. So I think it's almost going to become a game of chicken unless there's an opportunity for one of the teams to actually win the round off the ult. This time, though, it's looking far more basic, and Vixen again. He's just been taken out. They don't have the res this time to even bring him back, so that's so much space just garnered by the attack inside. An afterplant guaranteed. And now, well, it is going to come down to that retake. And as said, this lockdown, somewhat worthless at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to put it down anyways, see what it can do, but all it's going to do is get that Hunter's Fury activated and firing in. Look for another tag onto one of these players as well as they come on through. I think it's found it, actually. Joe down to 70 health and no shields to play with anymore. He's going to heal himself up, so that's that burned up. In fact, I think MW Zera might have even gotten hit as well, and they haven't spotted the Crows towards the backside. A nice double kill to open things up for X10, and even with that wall going up, there are plenty of players to deal with it. Joe falls, so does Heat.